Hello, fight fans. Welcome to another episode of More Than a Fight podcast. I am your host, Jose Alfredo Alcázar. Bienvenidos. And behind the scenes, we have
John.
And as you can see to my left, we are missing Juan. He's on vacation, so we'll send him some love. This will be episode 30, dedicated to the world of boxing. And this Saturday, we have a pretty packed Saturday. I feel like we've had a few of these this year. And this Saturday will be no different. We're going to have a card in Omaha. We're going to have a card in New York. We're going to have a card in Europe or the UK. And I think there might be another one in there
Tuesday,
somewhere.
we have the Inoue Butler card.
Yes, there you go. That's the other one. So we have a lot to get to. Let's kick it off in New York, John.
Yes, sir. We're going to start off with Lopez versus Sandor Martin.
Yes, sir. And of course, for all of you who are fight fans, you would know that Sandor Martin really made his name by beating Mikey Garcia in Fresno, California. And that was, I want to say, in 2021.
Yeah, because his last fight was against Jose Felix.
Yes, that's right. And this will be, well, I guess it's for a belt, the WBO International Super Lightweight title. Take that for what you will.
And then this is Lopez coming off the win from Campa.
Yes.
So,
yeah, he made Campa look bad. I mean, it was.
I don't know. Maybe too quick. I put Regis in there just for talk.
Yeah, we'll touch on that one.
So how do you see the fight going, sir?
I think we're gonna find a lot about Sandor Martin in this fight because as of right now, I don't see a reason not to take Teofimo Lopez, even though obviously, people still are gonna mention the Kambosos fight, so he needs to keep winning in order to put that fight behind him. But as of right now, I'm gonna go with Teofimo. But who knows? Sandor came into Mikey Garcia's backyard and beat him. Granted, you could easily say that Mikey just was no longer in it as far as the sport goes and his passion for it. But Teofimo, that's definitely not the case. And Sandor is fighting him in his backyard of New York City. So, but even with all that being said, I just think Teofimo just has too many skills. And Sandor, he just hasn't shown enough for me to say he can beat somebody on the level of Teofimo Lopez. But it'll be interesting.
I agree with you, but I also think that Lopez cannot underestimate Martin like he did Kambosos. You know what I mean? Like he thinks this is gonna be an easy fight. I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight for him.
That could prove to be very interesting because I'm glad you brought up that point because what happens if Sandor isn't as easy to hit as he thinks, or Sandor's able to find something that he can expose in Teofimo's game, and then all of a sudden the rounds keep going and going, and then what happens in his corner because his dad is still the head trainer or the head corner, and we already saw what happened with Kambosos and how that went from bad to worse to horrible. So I mean, it could be interesting. Sandor again proved it against Mikey that he can beat somebody who is highly skilled. Again, with the caveat of how much motivation did Mikey have? It's hard to say, but it can get interesting if Sandor is able to push this fight into 5, 6, 7. What happens then? Does Teofimo's confidence begin to wane? Does the corner not have the right instructions or the right motivation? It could turn. I hope not, because I want to see Teofimo in there with some of the top guys. Ideally, the man you just showed before this, which was Regis, the Ruguru Prograis, who just came off the victory against Jose Cepeda. But I mean, let's hope. I want Teofimo to win because I want him to be at top level again to see what he can do against the best at 140.
No, I agree with you. I think Lopez does win the fight, but he has to, minus P's and Q's. He has to make sure that he goes in there fully ready for somebody who's gonna give him a good fight.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. I'm actually intrigued by this one very much so.
Yeah, and I think the Lopez card is probably the best card of the night because we can move to the co-main, which is Jason Big Baby Anderson.
Jared Anderson, yes sir.
Sorry, Jared. Coming off a knockout. So
I mean, this dude has everything to be a great heavyweight.
yes,
The next great American heavyweight. Because
Exactly.
Deontay Wilder had that title, but only briefly because of obviously Tyson Fury. And I mean, I don't know if Anderson will ever get to see Tyson Fury, but maybe he'll get to see the likes of Alexander Usyk. That would be it. That would be a great fight. Only because Anderson isn't a huge guy like Fury is, and him and Usyk, I feel like obviously Anderson might be a little bit bigger, but it would be an interesting fight. And Anderson has a lot of skill for a heavyweight.
yes,
He boxes really well for somebody in the heavyweight division, and that makes him an exciting fighter because you have Alexander Usyk there. I don't know. I would hope Tyson Fury would stay in the game a little longer, but we can never tell what he's going to do. And maybe even one day Anderson could fight somebody like an Anthony Joshua too, even.
yeah.
Or Andy Ruiz. I mean, there's options there.
Ooh, Ruiz is a good one.
Yes, but because Anderson is so skilled, I don't know who will get in there with unless they're forced to. Because he has all the tools. Great jab, great movement, has the power. I mean, he could potentially be, like I said, the next great American heavyweight.
And then his opponent, Jerry Force, he's coming off a loss against Pulev. But one notable name I think is Zhile Zhang.
Oh yes.
And beat him by decision. So be interesting. And then the next
he's fought Carlos Takam. He's been in the ring with some guys.
Yeah.
Not like he's been in there with nobodies.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. And then we have Keyshawn Davis. Coming off a knockout off of, what was his name again?
He knocked out.
I have it
His
here.
name right now.
You're gonna notice. Oh yeah, here I have him.
Omar. What? Omar Bajena?
Yeah, this guy.
Right? Oh yeah. Here you go. You got it on there.
Yeah,
Yes.
he cleaned up on him.
And Keyshawn is with Terence Crawford's camp. He's trained by Bomac McIntyre. So he looks like he's got everything.
Yep.
And that's what they're saying, that he has the potential to be one of the best. And that's saying a lot coming from Terence Crawford and Bomac. Because obviously we'd like to believe they're a great judge of talent. And at 140, I mean, that there's obviously we just touched on a few of the guys. Teofimo Lopez, Regis Prograis, Jose Cepeda still there. I mean, there's a lot of competition at 140 pounds. And then you got Jack Catterall, you got John Taylor.
But he's 6.
But he's very young, obviously. But for them to say that he could potentially be the best at that weight class says a lot. As long as he keeps winning and keeps improving, you never know what the ceiling could be. So he's an exciting guy to watch, without a doubt.
And then moving on, another exciting guy coming up, Xander Zayas.
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Rican, yes?
Yes, sir. And he's fighting Alexis Salazar Flores.
And also coming off a knockout win, or TKO. This sequence right here, man. Just hungry.
Yeah, man. No, Zayas has all, again, the same. He looks like he has everything.
Yeah, looking good. And so, we'll keep him moving. Bruce Carrington. Mm-hmm. This guy also, I think, only, 5-0 or something like that?
Yes, that's right, 5-0. Young kid, too.
Also
up and coming.
I
mean, yeah, dude. These dudes it looks like they have all the skills to keep, to make noise in the future. Zayas, Obviously, like we touched on, Keyshawn Davis, Harrington. I can't see that I've seen Tucker fight Jahi
Ty-
Tucker that you have on there.
Yeah, me neither. Or Tiger Johnson.
Yeah, he's very young, so let's keep an eye out
But
for
those are
these
the
dudes.
first two fights.
Some up and comers. This Tucker is 9-0, 5 knockouts, so he'll be interesting to watch. Then we got Delonte Johnson as well. So a lot of youngsters on this card. Yeah, I
Yep.
see what you're saying. Delonte Tiger Johnson. Oh, he's from
Yes.
Cleveland too. Cleveland's starting to produce a couple fighters, man. All right.
But yeah, I
Oh,
think
Inoue.
that's a not. You can't miss that card. you
Yeah,
know?
Michael Hunt Jr. All right, 16-1. It'll be that'll be a very good card actually. Like I said, you got a lot of up and comers. Jared Anderson, we already know that he definitely has the goods. Zayas looks like he has the goods. Same thing with Keyshawn. So
Mm-hmm.
that'll be a great card to tune into.
Yep. And then we'll move on to the next American card down in
Omaha.
Nebraska.
Yes, sir.
Terence Crawford versus David
Avanesyan.
Thank you.
And this is actually one of my favorite fighters. Just to throw it out there because then everybody's going to ask me to pick. Obviously, I'm a huge Terence Crawford fan. I believe he's the best fighter on the planet. And of course, I believe he's the best at 147. I'm wondering how he'll look at 154 because he has talked about it. But anyway, don't let me get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
David Avanesyan will not. I don't believe he'll be easy. A lot of people are going to maybe shrug at this one because Avanesyan has, if I'm not mistaken, primarily fought in the
UK.
UK. If not all his fights have been across the pond.
So we have Crawford coming off the win of Sean Porter, his last fight a little while ago. What is it, 10th round TKO? And then David Avanesyan coming off Oscar Mitt's first round knockout. And he just came on him quick right here. Watch this. Just boom. Put it on him real quick. You know? So, be a very interesting fight. Yeah. But I take Crawford. And then, just, you have homie just hanging out.
And I didn't realize that Avanesyan have fought the Mean Machine.
Yes.
Idris Kavalauskas. Because that's an opponent they have in common. And apparently I was wrong. Avanesyan has fought in the U.S.
Oh.
Yeah, he's fought. Oh, what? He fought Shane Mosley?
How long ago?
Is that right?
Is it sugar or diet?
No, he fought Shane Mosley.
Huh.
In Glendale. I did not know that. You learn something new every day. And, well, he lost to the Mean Machine. He lost to Lamont Peterson. But those aren't guys to sneeze at. That's pretty good competition right there. With that being said, Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford. And I don't see David Avanesyan having the tools to beat someone like Terence Crawford. And even if he tries to come out like he did against his last opponent,
Mets,
it won't work. Crawford is just too damn good.
Too slick. He's gonna counter the shit out of him.
Yeah, I got Crawford by stoppage.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with the stoppage. I think it's gonna be a decent fight. Avanesyan is gonna come out there trying to throw, but I think it will slow down a bit, and then Crawford will take over.
Yes, sir.
And then some other fights on the card. We have Arnold, what is it? Khegai versus Edurado Baez.
Eduardo Baez. Yep.
Eduardo, sorry.
He's one of the twins. We've seen them fight on top rank cards.
Here we go. He just coming off a loss. Baez is just coming off a loss against
Navarrete.
Yeah, Navarrete.
Who again is not anybody to sneeze at.
His body, and it was a body shot. Body shot knockout.
Oh yeah, that was mean. Yeah, great call, John. I was trying to think of how he beat him. That's right. And Navarrete, and he was taking it to Navarrete. Yeah? He actually was beating Navarrete before that body shot landed. So
I couldn't find it. So.
No, it's cool. Let's see, Mr.
Arnold.
His last fight was against Ruben Tostado Garcia. Well, won by TKO. He lost to Stephen Fulton.
Yeah.
That's not an easy opponent at all. So he's been in there with a very, very tough fighter in Stephen Fulton, and he won his last 2 fights. So this one could be really good.
Yeah, it's a co-man. And then we move along. We have Crawford's friend and training buddy, Steven Nelson, coming off the amateur circuit, fighting against what's his name? Ballard?
James Ballard.
James
Yes,
Ballard, which 10-4. Steven Nelson at 17-0. So, yeah, I think it's kind of a tune-up for him.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
And then, speaking of tune-ups, we got
Yes.
Cris Cyborg.
Continuing her boxing career.
Bruh, I don't know about continuing, but
I think she's really just trying to build herself up to get a KU Taylor fight.
No, I agree with that. But what's funny about this Cris Cyborg fight is that just today or yesterday, the PFL announced that it's going to be her against oh my god, I'm blanking. The big chick from PFL. What is her name? Why am I blanking? Just need to Kayla Harrison. So the PFL announced they're gonna have a super fight between Cris Cyborg and Kayla Harrison. Whoever wins gets a new Rolls Royce and like $1 million or some shit like that. So we'll see what happens. But I think Jamie Holloway is a MMA / boxer. So I
can't say I've ever seen her fight.
Yeah, no, me neither. So it's gonna be kind of a tune-up.
Right.
And then yeah. Kind of everybody's coming in for
I'm curious
Crawford.
to see this card for a lot of reasons.
Just to see where Crawford's at.
Obviously, yeah, this is the debut of BLK Prime, and then there's a lot to
that is a good
look for, not just the fights, but even when we watched Prograis against Cepeda.
Yeah.
I was interested in looking at the commentary team, the camera work, all the things that go with putting together an event. And I thought Marv Nation and Legends Entertainment for their first event did pretty good. I like the corner work. I'm glad that there seems to be more emphasis on putting microphones in the corner and actually letting us hear what the corners have to say. Please keep that up. So let's see how BLK Prime does. And hopefully it goes well for them, because they are putting a lot of money into Terence Crawford, which means they're putting a lot of money into this event. So they're another player in the boxing.
The fact that they have Cris Cyborg on there, they're paying money to Cris Cyborg. Like, Cris Cyborg is been getting paid by MMA promotions, and so why would she take a shitty payday? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go across the pond.
Yes, sir. And
we'll start off with Warrington versus Alberto Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Warrington fight. I haven't seen Alberto Lopez. What is your thought?
I honestly can't say that I've seen Alberto Lopez fight.
Okay.
So, but honestly, these types of fights can be dangerous for the hometown fighter, and Warrington should be able to deal with this, because obviously he's had it happen to where he fought Lara, and Lara beat him. A lot of people didn't know about Mauricio Lara. So I would assume that Warrington is now educated and more aware of what to expect, especially from a Mexican fighter he doesn't really know.
Yeah, shout out to Juan. Juan always loves it when they the Mexican fighter comes over and beats up an English boxer.
But Warrington needs to win this fight for obviously more reasons than one, because we do want to see him fight Lara again, because obviously the last fight unfortunately stopped because of a headbutt that led to a pretty bad cut. So Warrington should be able to get the job done. Again, I'm basing this on his past experience with Mauricio Lara, so he should come correct. win this fight, and then set up the third fight with Mauricio Lara.
Mm.
And then we see what happens next.
Yeah, and that's early fight.
Yes, and then I'm glad we did our homework on this because I almost forgot that Ebanie Bridges was on the co-main event and against Shannon O'Connell. This is the Battle of the Aussies. Obviously, that's our little term for it, or little title for it. This will be it could be a very good fight.
The blonde bomber.
Yes, sir. And of course, she's very well known for many reasons. Obviously,
good fighter though.
She's a very good fighter. She won the title, and Shannon O'Connell is honestly, she's 39, so really this could be her last shot. So sometimes that brings out the best out of some fighters, and like I said, they're both Aussies, so they could be fighting for that national pride. And
but so say Bridges wins the fight, where does she go from here?
That would make it very interesting because at bantamweight, I'm trying to think of how many ladies can make that weight that could really challenge Bridges. Because I know there's a few out there.
Well, the big ones is like what's her face? Not Taylor. Marshall. Marshall's no. Marshall's small.
No. Savannah Marshall?
Never mind.
No. Because the thing is, at that weight class, there's only so many young ladies that can challenge her at bantam. Because Marshall and Clarissa and Katie Taylor and even Amanda Serrano, they're a little. It's hard for them to cut down to that weight. Maybe
Oh no, I don't know.
Senicia Estrada, I believe, fights at that weight. I think Estrada might be the one that could.
Julian Luna Avila is the number 1 on Boxer.
Okay.
This is bantam women's.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, Shannon O'Connell, Mayeli Flores.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird division.
Yeah.
But interesting fight.
No, yeah, that's gonna be a really good co-main. Actually, I almost forgot about it. I'm glad that like I said, make sure we did our homework on that because that'll be a very interesting fight. Because Ebanie Bridges gets a lot of, I don't want to say criticism, but obviously she's a very.
Oh no, she gets criticism.
Is it flamboyant? I guess.
No, because nobody likes her
doesn't
showing
mind
up with lingerie.
flaunting what she has.
Yeah, exactly.
I personally sometimes think that that's not a good thing because it takes away from your attributes as a boxer. And
no, it's just because you can't focus when a woman wears lingerie.
Yeah. Well, not even that, but you're gonna bring in somebody to watch your fight for the wrong reasons. Does that make sense? Like they might be watching for a different reason.
Well, it's like lingerie.
I think women's boxing needs to continue to grow and thrive, but sometimes I feel like Ebanie Bridges, her style isn't going to help it grow in that fashion if she does things like that. I mean, she has the right to, but I just don't agree that it's going to help grow women's boxing in the right manner. That's my take.
We'll just cut that out because like let her do her thing.
No, absolutely. No, yeah, and she does. She does.
Exactly.
To her credit, she does.
I mean, yeah. Then another fight that day, which it's interesting. Liam Taylor versus Tyrone McKenna, and then Conlan. Pretty big card.
And this is in Ireland, right? Yeah, because we got Michael Conlan on there too against.
They're in Belfast at the SSE Arena. So, yeah, we have McKenna who lost to Catterall, Liam Taylor who has weird looking eyes, and then Colin versus Goufferi. So
and Goufferi is a tough fighter. He's the one that fought Ankalaevthe.
Who? McKenna?
Porphyry.
Oh no, Gafiri? Yeah. He fought. Last guy he fought was Mercado, Jordan Gill.
Jordan Gill. I'm sorry, it was Jordan Gill. Thank you.
So Jordan
but
Gill.
he had Jordan Gill basically beat, but Jordan Gill landed that.
Yeah, knocked him down in the
right
7th.
hand that just put him down, and that was all she wrote. He got careless. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do with Conlan, because Conlan is no joke. And obviously Conlan wants to keep winning because he does want that rematch against now I'm the one drawing a darn blank.
Catterall.
No, not Catterall.
Oh, Conlan, he wants the rematch against
why is it
Leigh Wood.
Thank you, Leigh Wood. Sorry.
Leigh Wood.
Sorry to the UK fans. Leigh Wood. They put on a great fight. How did I drew a blank.
Yeah, lost TKO in the 11th
fights,
round.
And then on this card, Kurt Walker, young kid, Olympian. I saw him fight a couple months ago on actually it was a Michael Conlan card too. And he was on the undercard and he looked impressive. So Kurt Walker too is one to look for on that card.
Yeah. And then we did forget shout out to Felix Cash.
Yes.
On the last Warrington card. We'll get back to that. But keep it moving.
And yes.
The fight, I'm off on Tuesdays, so maybe I'll wake up for it.
Inoue
versus
the monster.
Butler. And I don't know much about Butler.
Against UK's Paul Butler.
But I think Inoue's got it.
I think that might be a safe bet. Not to say that Paul Butler doesn't have a chance, but
I mean he's 34-2.
And I mean he's been through he's been in a lot of fights, so.
But not that much.
I mean, Inoue is Inoue. There's a reason they call him the monster. You know what I mean?
And Ariaka Arena, Tokyo, Japan. I think gonna be, what time do you think it starts?
Probably 4 a.m. around there.
Yeah, probably. But
I mean, yeah.
What do you do with Inoue? When do we? I mean, he had his American fight against the brothers, the Australian brothers. Remember?
Oh yes, the Maloneys.
Yeah, the Maloneys, but he hasn't been back since, right? I mean, COVID happened and everything, but
I would love to see Inoue challenge, but I would love to see Bam and Inoue at 118.
But Bam's going up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if Bam moves up to 118, that fight can happen. If Inoue stays at 118, of course. Which I don't see why that fight wouldn't happen. That's a massive money fight, especially at that weight.
And especially for Inoue to get in the U.S., I think. That would be a much better way for him to hit the U.S. fans than Maloney. If he comes in, beats Bam Rodriguez, we cash in checks.
Well, he's fought the Maloneys on U.S. soil.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But, it didn't come across. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Top Rank has been working on getting him more attention.
It's going to take a while. But I think
the fight with Bam would be amazing.
That would be really his.
I would love to see that fight here in Vegas. I think that would be a great
100%.
fight. I don't see why you don't do that fight here in Vegas.
100%.
But yes, I don't see Paul Butler having a chance. I'm sorry, the UK fans, but I just don't see Paul Butler having much of a chance against Inoue.
So, yeah. And then let's move on to UFC 282. Also happening this weekend in Vegas.
Oh, that's right. It is the same night.
And this is a crazy card. Originally, it was going to be... So, the main event is going to be Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaevthe. And was originally supposed to be Yuri Prochazka versus Glover Teixeira, but Yuri got injured. And it's a stack card. Not
That's
just
right.
like
they got Paddy the Baddie on
yes,
here.
as Kobe moved
card.
in. Yep. So yeah, this was originally going to be the card. And Jan and Ankalaevthe are fighting for the interim
Gotcha.
light heavyweight title. And it's going to be a banger, I think. Both strikers. Jan has a little bit more wrestling, but he's a Magomed. He's from Russia. He wrestles.
Right.
And this is when he knocked the shit out of Rockhold. Watch this one. Kata!
Oh.
And then this is Ankalaevthe just.
Damn.
Yeah. So there's some killers, right? So that's going to be the main event. And then we're moving on to Petty the Baddie Pimblett versus Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon is on kind of a streak right now. I think he's on 3 or 4 fight win streak. Petty Baddie been beating everybody up. But yeah, I'm gonna take Petty. Also, sorry, I should have said I take Ankalaevthe on the first.
Okay, you're taking Ankalaevthe over Blachowicz?
Yeah, Ankalaevthe is just a beast. And then the next fight we have is Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Alex Morono. This was originally supposed to be Ponzinibbio versus Robbie Lawler, but he pulled out. So Alex Moreno coming in short notice. Both Moreno's coming off a win. Ponzinibbio's on kind of a weird streak. This is Moreno knocking out Cerrone. So they got some highlights, but not on the best record right now. I mean, here you go. This is Ponzinibbio knocking out Magny. Watch this one.
Oh.
And then this is a rough one. Darren Till's coming back. He is on a horrible fight streak against Dricus du Plessis, South African fighter.
Yeah, no.
And du Plessis coming off a KO win. This one didn't beat up. Well,
damn. Got him with that right.
And then we have
Bryce Mitchell,
the country gangster. I forget what was his. God damn it! It's something like redneck gangster. You see his shorts?
Yeah.
They made camo shorts just for him.
Oh, okay.
Versus Ilya Topuria. I'm taking Topuria. Topuria is. Don't get me wrong. Bryce Mitchell specializes in jiu-jitsu. Okay, he's one of the only other person other than Korean Zombie that has the twister. Like, watch this thing.
Oh yeah, dude. Oof.
But Topuria has got power, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Damn.
So yeah, I'm gonna take Topuria on that one, and then yeah, that is it for next week. Oh, actually, I should say there is some honorable mentions on that one.
Yeah, the prelims. I was gonna say.
Yes, prelims.
Raul
we do have
Rosas?
Yes, Raul Rosas Jr. He's maybe 18 now. Making his UFC debut versus Jay Perrin. He has 3 losses, so I think should be good. Then we have Yair Rosenstruck versus Chris Daukaus, who just lost against, or his brother just lost. I'll take Yair, but I wouldn't be surprised if Daukaus won.
Right.
I'm gonna take Rosas Jr. versus.
Oh wait,
Perrin.
is this the brother?
Which one? Yeah, that's the brother.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, we haven't done the recap yet. But this is the brother of the guy who lost last week, Kyle Daukaus.
Got it. All right.
But I'm gonna take Yair Rosas, and then Edmund Shabazian versus Daucha Longbila. Daucha was the guy we just watched got knocked out by Ankalaevthe. That was the guy who got the front kick.
Gotcha.
So I was going to take Shabazian over this one. Because everybody thinks Edmund Shabazian sucks, but he's not that bad. The interesting fight would be Chris Curtis versus Joaquin Buckley. Both knockout artists. Should be interesting. I am leaning towards Chris Curtis. I'm trying to think what would be my under of the night. Yeah, I would probably take Chris Curtis. Oh, Moreno's at 310. Ooh, I might take a Alex Moreno as an under over Ponzinibbio.
Moreno.
Yeah, Moreno, because I think Moreno could take it to decision. And then, yeah, honorable mention. This is the main event for the early prelim. Billy Quarantillo versus Alex Hernandez is going to be a banger. That'll be a good fight.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we have a super packed Saturday.
Yeah, man, tons of fights.
Tons of fights.
It's going to be hard to watch everything. You got to DVR something.
Yes, sir.
A lot.
And then, we just have some quick news and notes. Right?
Yes, sir.
We're
yeah,
going to
we
start
just
off
had,
with the sad shit. Huh?
Oh, well, I want to close with that.
Okay. Never. Hold on. Let me move it over. We'll do
Saturday, January 7th.
Tank Davis and Hector Luis Garcia. January 7th.
This is the first fight of Davis coming out of Mayweather Promotions. Still under Al Heyman.
Yes.
But he has nothing but love for LRB and Mayweather. And I see people saying this is a harder fight than Ryan Garcia. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Hector Luis has looked good. His last two fights, he's looked good. Obviously, the fight that put him on the map, as if you will, was against Chris Colbert and beating him in a huge upset. Well, a big upset for us boxing fans. And then fighting Gutierrez. That was a tough fight for him, but he won that fight as well. But Gutierrez did land some shots that if Tank Davis lands those shots, it's going to be an early night. So Garcia needs to come correct with his defense and not make the mistakes like, let's say, somebody like Rolly made.
Yeah, we'll break it down more. Yeah. I feel like we need to introduce people with, like, who is Hector Garcia.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we'll do a deep dive in. You're right.
But I think it's interesting just the fact that, like, Tank Davis is trying to go out on his own. Also has talked about how he wants to move up and probably be done by 2024, 2025. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, so he had a conversation with Luke Thomas from Morning Combat.
Oh.
And basically said that, yeah, I feel like my power can go up and I only have a few fights left in me, Garcia, and then he wants Haney and Shakur.
Okay, ooh.
And then he's probably done.
All right, that's fine with me.
Right?
You take those three dudes and you beat them, Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and then I'm done.
Because those guys are that good.
Walk out into the sunset.
Yeah, and still be very young. Hey, why not?
And you learn from the master about, hey, let's get this money. Don't get damaged. Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
You know? So, be interesting.
Absolutely.
And let's shout out to the Honorable Judge Mills Lane, passing away this weekend.
One of the greatest boxing referees. I remember him as a kid, man. Who didn't remember?
Oh, one of the...
I'm fair, but I'm firm. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not...
No.
I'm thinking...
It was, let's get it on.
Yeah, thank you. My bad.
Let's get it on. He has
man.
over 100 championship fights. Was the ref when Tyson bit off Evander's ear.
Everybody remembers that.
And, yeah.
Mills Lane, man.
And then, you know what I didn't know? And it's kind of sad. Is that he had a stroke back in 2002 that made him nonverbal.
Oh.
Yeah. And so...
I did not know that.
Yeah. I was reading the article, like an obituary today. And yeah, that was the whole reason why we don't see him anymore. It was that he had a stroke back in 2002 that made him nonverbal.
Dang, that sucked. But he was a great ref, man.
Oh, one of the best. Didn't take
one
no
of those
shit.
refs, man.
Yeah.
Few and far between, man. Rest in peace. We need to get a bell one of these days so we could do a 12 count, man. Thank you to Mills Lane for all the great work he did for boxing.
Oh, and he was just such a cultural figure. You know,
absolutely.
Like, he had his own little, before Judge Judy and shit, there was Judge Mills Lane.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And he was the voice for Celebrity Deathmatch and all sorts of crazy shit.
Oh, you're right.
Very.
Yeah, and I wonder how many, well, not probably, I would assume many people that tuned into Celebrity Deathmatch didn't realize the significance of his voice and who he was. But yes, great point.
He's very, very big cultural figure, especially for boxing, and we're sorry for his loss.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that should cover it.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button for the next episode. Thank you, guys.
Just bleed.